So can we say that it's an unnatural state?
Yes, atheism, in my opinion, is an emotional problem, and in some cases a psychological problem, because if you look at all atheist arguments, they will always be intertwined with emotion. Many of them have emotional problems. Someone have been beaten by a mulwi in a masjid with a stick. Some of them sexually abused by priests or mulvis or whoever. In places like Pakistan, for instance, where the madrasa is conducive to sexual abuse and likewise physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse. Some of the atheists, a group from amongst them at least, are a produce of such type of abuse. So I believe it's an emotional problem. Or women who leave Islam because of cultural issues like forced marriages, failed marriages, believing that the rights of women have been impinged, undermined, and therefore they leave Islam totally. Some people have the feeling that Islam constrains them, is like a tight jacket that limits the fulfillments of their desires. So therefore that leads to an emotional, psychological problem which makes them leave Islam. So as intellectual as an atheist may attempt to be, once the intellectual and rational arguments have been dismantled, you will always find an emotional and psychological motive for the atheism, which tends to go toward two aspects. One is the removal of Sharia law from one's life, and the second is objection to God. So objection to God being in the form of the problem of evil, or why does God create evil? Why does God permit disasters, disease, pestilence, and these type of things? And all of these things need to be addressed in an intellectual fashion. But even after the arguments have been totally dismantled, after this, the atheist still may not adopt Islam or religion or theism simply because of the emotional problems.